Hello everyone, and welcome to Grace Creative session number 2. My name is Desiree and I'm the director of Grace, and today we're going to be doing a project called Feeling in Color. I'm just going to show you this canvas all completed here. There is a therapeutic element to this project today, so I just want to send a disclaimer. If at any point in time you start feeling overwhelmed or anxious, you can feel free to take a pause or not even complete the project, that's fine. But the point of today's project is to just learn how to process and handle and manage and even overcome our emotional states. So we're really excited about doing this with you today. If you got a kit at home, then you should have all of the materials that are in front of me. But I'm just gonna go over what I have and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first thing that I have here is just a blank 8x10 canvas. It's just a basic watercolor acrylic painting canvas. The second thing I have is I have a list of feeling words. I just downloaded this on Google just as a PDF. We're gonna go over this a little bit later. And I have my water cup here so I can rinse my paintbrush. I have 6 different colors here: black, green, blue, yellow, red, and white. We made sure that we put all of the primary colors in here because we're going to be doing some color mixing later today, which will be super fun. And then of course I have napkins so I can dab my paintbrush. I've got just a single paintbrush here is all we're going to need. Just kind of a medium size tip. Really any size paintbrush will do. You really only need one paintbrush for the session today. And then I also have a marker. And really any washable marker of any color will work. I went with kind of like a medium color just because that's going to blend with the other paint that we're going to be doing. So I wouldn't recommend doing like black, but any like lighter washable marker will do. And then I've got my little paint canvas here. Not canvas, I've got my paint palette, just a little 6-1. Any paint palette you have, even if all you have is like a paper plate, that'll be fine. And then I have 1/2 inch painter's tape. If you have 1/4 inch or 1 inch, it will still work, but I think the 1/2 inch is a good size for this size canvas. If you do only have the thicker, you can always cut it in half as an option. And then I also have water because it's very important to stay hydrated. So if you don't have this at home, go grab a glass of water and stay hydrated while we do this project. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our first step, which all you're going to need is your blank canvas and your 1/2 inch painter's tape. And basically all we're going to do for this first step is we're going to be making shapes on our canvas that we're going to be painting over later. So yeah, there's no real science to this other than just putting your tape on the canvas. Couple things to keep in mind. One, it's helpful if you put the tape a little over the back edge. That way later on you can pull it off a little bit easier. The other thing to keep in mind is that we are going to be writing words inside of these shapes, so you might want to make the shape large enough to where you can take your marker and write something on the inside of it a little bit later. So again, this is not scientific, this is fun about creating all kinds of shapes. So just take a few minutes and fill your entire canvas with the painter's tape and create a bunch of shapes, and we will be back with the next step. All right, so I hope you were able to finish your canvas. I got mine all taped off and it looks like this. The next step that we're going to be doing, step 2, is going to be to take our vocabulary list of feeling words and to go through and mark off the ones that we've been experiencing lately. So I don't know about you all, but This has been definitely an emotionally trying time on everyone. And yeah, just thought this would be a good way for us to just kind of get in touch with some of those feelings. So just take maybe 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes here to mark off maybe 15 or so words that really resonate with you when you look at them, and we will come back with the next step. All right, so hopefully you were able to find some good feeling words on that list. I found myself about 15 or 20 that really resonated with me in terms of everything that we have been experiencing. And the next step is just going to be to take your pen, your marker that we gave you, and just to write these words down in the square. So you might not be able to fit all of them, but just choose the ones that you feel the most connected to and just kind of write them on your board. Awesome. So hopefully you were able to find some words on the list that resonated with you and put them on your board. I have my board here, and some of the feeling words that I chose were lonely. Definitely been feeling a little bit of loneliness, some uncertainty, feeling a little troubled, a little angry, a little defeated, uncertain, foggy, chaotic, a little hopeless, powerless. So you all might be going through that right now. This is a difficult time in history for all of us in humanity, and just important to reflect and be in touch with our feelings. And but another big thing is that we don't have to let those feelings rule us. And we'll see in this next step what a little bit of color can do to our emotions, adding a little bit of color in. So the next step that we're going to be doing is to take your colors here and take your paint palette, and we're going to be doing a little bit of color mixing. So I don't know how much you guys know about color mixing. I'm a little new at it myself, but I do happen to remember that a little bit of red and blue make purple here. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix those two together here to try to get that color. And basically you're just gonna spend the next like 10 minutes or so just coming up with like 6 or so different colors. So you might still be mixing your paints, which is totally fine. I actually just wanted to kind of walk you guys through a little bit of my colors and how I got them in case you're new to mixing colors. I'm pretty new to it myself, but I thought this might be a fun kind of activity just to learn about mixing colors and play around a little bit. So first I have my purple color here in the corner, and I got that by just mixing a little bit of blue and red, and I put some white in there as well to kind of lighten it up because it was kind of like a really deep purple, so I add a little bit of white to get a little bit of a lighter color. And then I just have my yellow here. That one was pretty standard. I just used the yellow, and then I put a little bit of white in it to kind of brighten it up and make it a little bit more of like a pastel yellow. And then I have my green, and all I did to that one was I added a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white just to get a little bit more of like a lime green, kind of bright, vibrant, rather than the kind of deeper forest green. And then I have my blue here, which I added a little bit of white and a little bit of green because I wanted kind of a more like aqua blue, so I added a little bit of green and then white to kind of, again, lighten it up. Whenever you add white, it's going to kind of make it a little bit more pastel in color. And then I have my orange here, which orange, most of you should probably know, is just yellow and red, and then again a little bit of white because I wanted the pastel look. And then my pink here in the corner, and that one is just red with a little bit of white, and I added a little bit more red because I wanted kind of a brighter, like vibrant pink. So that's how I got my colors. Yeah, if you are still mixing, feel free to take a few minutes doing that. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to the next step. For those of you guys who are done mixing, because this is the fun part. So basically now you're just gonna, in no kind of order in particular, just kind of take your paint and start painting over your squares. And the first thing that you're gonna notice is that as you take the color and you paint over your square, the word is going to kind of disappear. So I chose to do my pink color here, and I think what's kind of cool in this too is that as the paint interacts with the marker, it actually kind of changes colors and then it blends together, and you get kind of an entirely new color on your canvas. So that's just obviously the interaction of this kind of bluish green. It's more of a green color that I have on my board with the watercolor, with the Crayola marker and the paint that I have. And again, as I paint over it, the word kind of disappears. And as I was doing this project myself, I just thought that was kind of symbolic in the sense that, you know, when we add color to our lives, the things that we felt, that we might have felt overcome or uncertain, when we add that color, those feelings tend to kind of fade away as we choose to focus on the things that make us happy. And so the other thing that I thought as we were doing this project is that you could think about what these colors mean to you, maybe different memories that they bring. And so I'm just gonna do green next. And you know, for me, like, green makes me think of being outside, taking a walk, taking a hike, and interacting with the outdoors. And that's something that I absolutely love doing. And as I paint over the word provoked, which is on here, it kind of disappears. And I think it's kind of cool that, you know, as we do those things, the things that make us happy, and choose to focus on the color in our lives and the color and the things that are around us, sometimes some of those feelings and those negative emotions have a way of just kind of fading. And you know, it's good to acknowledge our feelings and to know that we're going through them, but yeah, it's also good to take that moment to start focusing and start appreciating on the things that are around us. So again, just as you start to paint your canvas with all of these different colors, purple, again, the thing that comes to my mind, I think about like cotton candy and carnivals, and just how fun it is to get out and do those things. And you know, we're hopeful that we're going to be able to do things like that again, and thankful for the memories that we do have and the things that we have coming up in our lives. So again, just as you go through this activity, just kind of think about the things that these different colors remind you of, and just take a few minutes to reflect. So as we near the end of this project, you might be finished painting yours. I'm pretty close to finished with mine, but you might notice that it's helpful to do a few different coats and let it dry in between, just because, yeah, I think I like the kind of like darker coverage. So you might want to do a few coats just to make sure that you get the depth and the brightness of color that you really want, and hope that you were able to just interact with your colors and the words on your board, and really just do some self-reflection in terms of some things that make you happy. I know when I was doing this project, I was just able to just think about some things that really brought me joy, and think about ways that I could incorporate those things into my life. And the point of us doing this is just to share that you don't have to be ruled by your emotions, and your emotions are important. It's important to be able to recognize the things that you're feeling internally and externally, that chaos, the fear, just different things like that. But then just to also remember that, you know, there's so much in this life to be thankful for, and to focus on those things that bring us joy. And maybe, hopefully, this project was something that brings you a little bit of joy, just to get your hands moving and your mind busy at work with a little something different. So that completes most of the steps. We have one other step, but yeah, the next step is just going to be to let your canvas dry for a little while. You'll notice that you've kind of like painted over the edges, but it might take 30 minutes to an hour or so to dry. But just kind of let your canvas hang out for a little while, go get a snack, get a drink, and we will be back to look at our final product. So hopefully you had a chance to remove all your tape. I got mine all done, and this is my final project. Got a little bit of bleeding there in the corner. Probably should have just packed the tape down a little bit harder in that spot, but it's okay. Art's not perfect. Life is messy, and that's okay. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed doing this awesome feeling and color project, and I hope that you gained something from it and were encouraged. Again, this is our Grace Creative second online session. Grace is a registered 501c3 nonprofit, Girls Rising Above Child Exploitation. We serve youth that are trafficked, exploited, or at risk of those things, and you can visit our website at girlsrisingabove.org. We do Grace Creatives, which is this therapeutic art program. We also have a mobile food pantry going right now as well. So if you need any of those services, please reach out to us and let us know. We hope that you enjoyed this online session, and we hope that you'll tune in with us again. Thanks. Blessings.